Let's bring in Chad Wolf, former acting DHS secretary during President Trump's first term, now the chair of the America First Policy Institute's Homeland Security and Immigration Center. Chad, thank you for being here. Your reaction just off the top to that report from Alexis just now.
Well, look, I think this is a really important development. The Trump administration, including AG Bondi, Director Patel, and others, have made going after these types of individuals a priority. And the president has designated MS-13, along with TDA and others, as terrorist organizations. And so they're going after terrorists that are here in the homeland, and in this case, an individual just less than an hour away from the nation's capital. So they're doing exactly what President Trump said he was going to do prior to the election. And I think the American people like to see progress, like to see individuals like this taken down, so that they know that they are, are operating in safe communities again.
So there's been all these questions about the deportation flights. Obviously, there is a broad effort right now from Republicans to try to rein in some of these judges that the administration's calling activist judges, trying to really curtail the power of the president to dictate deportation authority. We'll see where that goes. But in the meantime, you have these critics pushing back on some of the details of who the administration says were on these deportation flights. You've probably heard about this Maryland migrant. The press secretary got a question on this person earlier today. The answer we'll play for you real quick, then I'll get your response.
The error that you are referring to was a clerical error. It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number one. Fact number two, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking.
So the White House is admitting that this person was sent on this flight as part of an administrative error, but they're maintaining that he should have been on it. Do they need to start releasing some of the evidence that they are citing here to quell concerns about that?
I think they certainly could, but look, a couple of factors are at play here. This individual got basically the ability not to be removed back to El Salvador for protection purposes, and I think he got that order several years ago. In the absence of that, though, what the administration is saying is not only does he have ties to MS-13, but he actually has a final order of removal, which is to say the United States can remove this individual. They just simply can't remove him back to El Salvador. So as the press secretary said, there was an error in removing him to El Salvador, but he is a final order of removal. He has no legal right to be in the United States, and if he is linked to MS-13, he should be removed from the United States without a doubt.
Just following up on that last question here, because there was a quote in The Atlantic from an attorney for an immigration organization, said, to this question of whether they can be brought back to the U.S. They claim that the court is powerless to order any relief. If that's true, the immigration laws are meaningless, all of them, because the government can deport whoever they want, wherever they want, whenever they want, and no court can do anything about it once it's done. What's your response to that? Is there anything to that?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that at all. But look, what the Trump administration can do is obviously work with El Salvador, who is a friend of the United States, particularly in this mission, and explain the situation and ask them to return this individual back to the United States if that's what they want to do. And again, what the United States and what the federal government is saying is that this individual has a final order of removal. He has no legal right to be in the United States. So why would you bring him back to the United States? Instead, what I would say is you probably just need to move him to another safe third country.
And they are maintaining right now that they think that he should be there and certainly should not come back to the U.S.
Yeah.
So, okay. Chad Wolf, thank you very much. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.